Alright, now this is going to be interesting. I want to react to Bill Maher's monologue from last night where he recalls, in detail, his private dinner with the President of the United States. And disappointingly, it seems like Bill Maher fell for Trump's PR stunt, or his PR trap, if you want to call it that, because I haven't seen this full monologue yet, but from what I've seen, Bill Maher says that Trump was surprisingly charismatic and surprisingly self-aware in a one-on-one setting. And none of that is surprising. We know, it is well known that Trump can be charismatic when you're talking to him one-on-one, and he's spent his entire life having cozy dinners with politicians and rich people and media figures. So the fact that he got along with a millionaire, someone who's worth $200 million and is a famous comedian, is not very surprising. It is all a part of a con, because while Trump is cozying up to Bill Maher and vice versa, he's actively destroying the country and deporting people with no due process and taking trillions of dollars off of the stock market. And Bill Maher knows this as well. So honestly, I want to take a nuanced position. I don't even think Bill Maher is MAGA. I'm not going to say Bill Maher is bending the knee, but I think Bill Maher kind of fell for Trump's PR stunt, and you can see it on his show. You can kind of see the moment that Bill Maher falls for Trump's trap. So let's break this down. YouTube will likely demonetize this video and suppress it because this is copyrighted content, so I'm going to turn off any ads. Make sure you drop a like and drop some blue hearts to help boost it despite YouTube. Let's check this out.
And now for what I know you've all been waiting for. I'd like to give you my book report on my visit to the White House.
He's walking around proudly, but by the way, Bill Maher walked right into Trump's trap. And again, we can be nuanced. Please don't be like, Bill Maher is now a MAGA Republican. That's not even the reality. Bill Maher is just a comedian who fell for Trump's trap.
Okay, as you know, 12 days ago I had dinner with President Trump, a dinner that was set up by my friend Kid Rock, because we share a belief that there's got to be something better than hurling insults from 3,000 miles away. And let me first say that to all the people who treated this like it was some kind of summit meeting, you're ridiculous. Like I was going to sign a treaty or something. I have no power. I'm a fucking comedian, and he's the most powerful leader in the world. I'm not the leader of anything, except maybe a contingent of centrist-minded people who think there's got to be a better way of running this country than hating each other every minute.
Little pretentious, little patronizing, but that's okay. Also, before we watch this, my mom always told me something. I mean, for the past 8 years, she's told me something in regards to politics, and it's that competency over charisma. You always want to prioritize competency over charisma, and she always says Trump is a really good example of that, because yes, there are many reports that Trump is charismatic in a one-on-one, and I know that's going to make people mad, but that is just what we've heard, that he's charismatic, but he's not competent. Just because you're funny in a one-on-one dinner when you guys are chuckling or whatever doesn't mean you're a good leader.
So, thank you. So meet up in person. Maybe it'll be different. Spoiler alert, it was. First good sign, before I left for the Capitol, I had my staff collect and print out this list of almost 60 different insulting epithets that the president has said about me. Things like stupid, dummy, lowlife dummy, sleazebag, sick, sad, stone cold crazy. Really a dumb guy, fired like a dog, his show is dead. There's 60. I brought this to the White House because I wanted him to sign it.
So wait, in a second, Bill Maher is going to try to frame Trump being two-faced as a good thing. The fact that Trump is a person who will shake your hand in private and then 12 hours later blast you on social media and try to take down your career, Bill Maher tries to frame this as some sort of charming thing.
Which he did. Which he did with good humor. And I know as I say that, millions of liberal sphincters just tightened. Oh my God, Bill, are you going to say something nice about him? What I'm going to do is report exactly what happened. You decide what you think about it. And if that's not enough pure Trump hate for you, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So no, I didn't go MAGA. And to the president's credit, there was no pressure to. After we left the Oval Office, he showed me the little room off the office, you know, the one where Clinton used to. Okay. The blowjob room. Okay. Well, not anymore. That's where they keep the merch now. It is. And he gave me a bunch of hats, but he didn't ask me to take a picture in one, which I appreciated. The guy I met is not the person who the night before the dinner shit-tweeted a bunch of nasty crap about how he thought this dinner was a bad idea and what a deranged asshole I was.
I don't like this framing. Again, Bill Maher is framing it as if Trump is somehow this peaceful dude behind the scenes, but Trump was putting on a curated performance. Of course, Trump was being chill around Bill Maher because he knew that Bill Maher would go on his show 10 days later, as he did, and say, oh, Trump is actually a really cool guy. I mean, as much as we dislike Trump, he does understand media and PR. That is one thing that you can give him. And if you're going to say Trump isn't good at media and PR, you're behind us at this point. He is good at manipulating the media and doing these PR stunts. So he played the long game. He knew that Maher doesn't even need to endorse Trump. Bill Maher doesn't need to go MAGA. But if Bill Maher goes and just gushes a little bit about how he's kind of a chill, funny dude, then all of the liberals that watch this show, and I call myself a liberal, but I mean, Bill Maher has a big centrist liberal audience, and even like the center-right Republicans, they'll be like, huh, maybe Trump is a cool guy.
I read it and thought, oh, what a lovely way to welcome someone to your house. But when I got there, that guy wasn't living there. Now, does Trump want respect? Of course, who doesn't? My friend said to me, what are you going to wear to the White House? I said, I don't know, but I'm not going to dress like Zelensky, I'll tell you that. But, okay.
I can't tell. I don't think that was an anti-Zelensky joke, because I know Bill Maher is very pro-Ukraine. I think he was just saying, I don't want to get yelled at. I don't...
Just for starters, he laughs. I'd never seen him laugh in public, but he does, including at himself. And it's not fake. Believe me, as a comedian of 40 years, I know a fake laugh when I hear it. And I thank you for them. No. But, okay, example. In the Oval Office, he was showing me the portraits of presidents, and he pointed to Reagan and said, in all seriousness, you know the best thing about him? His hair. I said, well, there was also that whole bringing down communism thing, waiting for the button next to the Diet Coke button to get pushed and I go through the trap door. But no, he laughed, he got it. I said to him at one point, Mr. President, you know the dog, that's unusual in the White House. He said, well, a lot of the presidents, they had a dog for political reasons. I said, no, people love dogs, that's what that is. Oh yeah, okay, that's true.
I don't get what the implication is here. Like, what do you all think is more likely? A, Trump is now just a really chill dude who is really mellowed out and is now self-aware and funny, and after 79 years of life or whatever, he is now reached Zen state or whatever the hell. Or B, Trump understood that he was talking to one of the most high-profile liberal comedians in the country, maybe even in the world. Bill Maher has a big audience, and he understood that if he could just play it a little bit cool and be chill, Bill Maher would very likely recall this exact experience 2 weeks later. So if Trump just plays a little bit of the long game and maybe doesn't throw a tantrum, then he'll be chill. But you just have to remember, basically the day after Bill Maher left the White House, Trump signed vindictive executive orders against Vindman and other specific people. Trump has signed specific executive orders targeting specific politicians. So the idea that Trump isn't vindictive or that he's really chill and a cool guy now is just total BS, and I know Bill Maher knows that. I think Bill Maher is also going through some cognitive dissonance right now, and that's what Trump wants you to do. He wants to humanize himself and make you wonder, maybe this guy's not so bad, while in the background he's deporting people with no due process. So I find this segment to be really interesting. Let's continue.
I'm telling you what happened. At one point, we were walking through it is an amazing tour of the whole house. And I don't remember exactly what we were talking about, but it must have been something with the 2020 election, because I know he used the word lost. And I distinctly remember saying, wow, I never thought I'd hear you say that. He didn't get mad. He's much more self-aware than he lets on in public.
Okay. So he's two-faced?
Look, I get it. It doesn't matter who he is at a private dinner with a comedian. It matters who he is on the world stage. I'm just taking as a positive that this person exists, because everything I've ever not liked about him was, I swear to God, absent, at least on this night with this guy. Bob, Kid Rock, told me the night before, he said, if you want to get a word in edgewise, you're going to have to cut him off. He'll just go on. Not at all. I've had so many conversations with prominent people who are much less connected, people who don't look you in the eye, people who don't really listen because they just want to get to their next thing, people whose response to things you say just doesn't track, like, what? None of that with him. And he mostly steered the conversation to, what do you think about this?
I find this all to be pretty bunk because Bill Maher made this point himself. He made the same point himself. Trump is doing a self-aware chuckle, and then in the next breath, he does a vindictive, vengeful executive order. And which Trump is it that's running the country? Is it the chuckle Trump, or is it the executive order Trump that's drafting the executive orders and trying to get Congress to pass crazy laws?
I know. Your mind is blown. So's mine.
My mind really isn't blown, dude. It is really not surprising to me that somebody who spent their entire life mingling with comedians and millionaires is charming behind the scenes. I know a lot of people in the comments will get mad. They get mad whenever I say this, but yes, of course, a used car salesman can be charming in a one-on-one scenario.
There were so many moments when I hit him with a joke or contradicted something, and no problem. At dinner, he was asking me about the nuclear situation in Iran in a very genuine, hey, I think you're a smart guy, I want your opinion sort of way. And I said, well, obviously you're privy to things about it, I'm not, but for...
Trump knows what he's doing here. He's playing Bill Maher so hard. I'm so sorry, and he's playing Bill Maher so incredibly hard.
I thought the Obama deal was worth letting play out because we made Iran destroy 98% of the uranium, and they were 15 years away from a bomb. And then I said to him, but we got rid of that. You got rid of that. He didn't get mad or call me a left-wing lunatic. He took it in.
Just because, dude, the bar is in hell at this point. Just because Trump didn't go on one of his True Social rants in person at that very moment, calling him a radical left lunatic, Bill Maher now thinks that he's mellowed out. It's all pretty disgusting. There's more to the segment, but let's really quickly watch Bill Maher getting called out about this same thing a little bit later on his own show.
I just wanted to report exactly what I saw. I did it to the best of my abilities.
Counterpoint?
Honest as I can be. Yes.
Counterpoint?
Yeah.
You know, Bill, I think you're right in saying that people have made too much of this, okay? It's not the Ulta Summit. You're not Churchill. Kid Rock is not Stalin. Trump sure shit isn't FDR, okay?
Yeah, and Bill Maher's not a MAGA lunatic now. I think that would be unfair to say.
So, yes, I believe too much has been made about this, but I think you've fallen into the trap. I think I represent 99% of the internet when I say this, is that you've played the game of proximity is principle. And what people are worried about is not your motivation. We believe you. We love you, Bill. Everybody loves Bill, right? I'm not questioning your motivation. I'm questioning Trump's, okay? And if we can say that you went there in good faith, but maybe, just maybe, he wasn't there in good faith. I mean, you sold him on the Iran deal and he took it in. I mean, give me a break, okay? So the idea here is that your motivation is sound, but what's the impact? And I think a lot of people out there, fans of yours, people who love you, people who are fans of you, like me, I've been fans of you.
You don't have to patronize me, dude.
Okay.
I don't know you. I never met you.
I'm just saying that this comes from a
not
place
everybody
of
has to
love.
like it.
All I'm
That's
saying
what we
is-
said. There are people who didn't want it to happen at all. You sound like one of them. It's
No,
okay.
no.
But did
I
you
don't
hear
mind
what
it.
did you hear what I said?
Yeah.
Like, what is the alternative to not talking? Just sit at your lunch table and don't talk to anybody.
I talked to him. I've interviewed Trump. Here's the interview.
That's not it. That's just not an interview. This was not an interview.
I agree with the principle of engagement. I'm just saying, from his perspective, you have to understand that people out there know, all Americans know, that for him this was a PR stunt, and in his view, you were a prop in that PR stunt.
I really agree with that analysis right there. That's the analysis I was making as well. That even if Bill Maher went there hoping to reach some middle ground, Trump was not there in good faith. In fact, he was kind of playing Bill Maher. Now, there's a way to meet with the president that's not inherently bad. I think that even if you disagree with the president, for example, pro-Palestinian advocates met with the Biden administration multiple times, not because they agree with the administration or support the administration, actually for the exact opposite reason. These advocates would meet with the administration to try to present their case and apply pressure. But that doesn't seem to be what was going on here. Same thing with Joe and Mika from Morning Joe. If you remember, they visited Trump at Mar-a-Lago a few months back, and they didn't go there to apply pressure or to advocate for any sort of minority or to push back. They kind of just went there and said, hey man, I know that we've had a rough past, but let's see if we can start fresh or whatever. It's like, what? What do you mean? It's clearly a long game to curry favor with the media. But here's the thing. Here's the part that is really cool. The one factor that Republicans, that the Trump admin didn't think about was us. Not only the whole MeidasTouch Network, but this channel, the entire sphere that we've built up. Trump has tried to create this chilling effect by suing ABC, MSNBC, CNN, suing all of the mainstream media, but the one factor they forgot about was us every single day, beating records in growth, spreading the truth, live fact-checking, whether it's Trump speaking, telling lies, or sometimes I make videos about Caroline Leavitt where I just debunk every single thing that she's saying in that video. And you know, that is why we are currently in the top 10 fastest growing political and political adjacent YouTube channels in Q1 of 2025. The Mockler channel beat Megyn Kelly, Charlie Kirk, Tucker Carlson. If you want to help me beat Fox News in terms of day over day, month over month growth in Q2, then all you have to do is scroll down, click subscribe. It's free, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.